Hi everyone, Becky here, K9 Nation Paws on Tour Day 20. Where to start? So shortly after I finished my vlog last night, I said I was going to get an early night, and I did. Switched off all the lights, got into bed and everything, and her buddy was sick in the motorhome. 3 massive piles of stinky sick, which is not his fault. We tried to keep him cool all day. I don't know if he'd eaten something funny, if he was just a bit overheated, what it was, but he was sick a lot. So I got up, cleaned it up, did the best I can, but dog's stinky sick in a motorhome at night, not nice. So anyway, then we went to sleep, and then as loads of people in the UK had last night, there was just the most almighty thunderstorm in the middle of the night, and it was just bouncing between the hills here in the Lake District, and it was so loud I genuinely thought the motorhome was going to split in two. And it wasn't just the thunder, it was the rain here. It was like hailstorm. Oh, it sounded like it from inside here. It was like we're in a tin can. So Buddy was just petrified. He was just cuddling up to me, shaking. So I'd kind of like soothe him and cuddle him, and I'd be like, it's all right, Buddy, it's all right, it's past. And I'd just kind of drift off back to sleep, and then it'd bounce back off another hill, and 10 minutes later it'd be back. So it was a bit of a restless sleep, but we weren't the only ones, as I say. I think most of the UK got those huge thunderstorms last night. So I'd set my alarm so we could get up nice and early this morning despite being tired, because I was worried that today was going to be another scorcher, and I wanted to make sure that Buddy got a decent walk today, because I think he was a bit restless yesterday. So we got up, and by 8 o'clock we were out and walking, and I'd seen a path the night before down to Coniston Water. It was only about a 1.5 mile walk, so off we poodled. Took my little rucksack, all my stuff that I thought I might need, just in cases, and off we went. And we had a beautiful little walk, gorgeous scenery, made it down to the water, out onto the little jetty. Pictures are on sort of Instagram and Facebook if you haven't already seen them. And yeah, it was gorgeous. I just sat on the dock for a while and just listened to the water lapping on the beach. Buddy was content, he was just happy. So I just sat there and chilled out for 5-10 minutes, and then we poodled back. So I think we were there, it took us about 1.25 hours in total. And then we got back to the motorhome and we just chilled out for the morning. I cleaned it all out, gave it a sweep, all that kind of stuff, did my washing, did the emptying the toilet, all the stuff you don't need to know about. Had my shower, and then, I'll be honest, I just had a little hour's nap. We both did. We just came in here, shut all the blackout blinds, and just had a little hour's nap. I knew I couldn't get over to Keswick, where we are now, until 1 o'clock, so there was no point in rushing. So then we got up, and then about 12:30 we made our way over to Keswick, and it was only like 24 miles on the sat nav, but it said it was going to take at least an hour, and it's just because of the roads. And oh my goodness, my sat nav took me the most horrific way. It was literally up and down hills on tiny little country lanes in this thing, and I was, excuse the language, but I was shitting myself. I had my first little bump, which really, really upset me. So I had a really good morning, and then at kind of lunchtime when I was driving over, it just went downhill. And we were on a tiny little country road, and there was someone coming the other way, and I thought, do you know what? There's a closest lay-by to me if I can just reverse up a little bit. I do have a reverse camera, because you don't have rear view mirrors or anything on this. The visibility is terrible, but I do have a reverse camera. But the sun was shining right at it, so when I was looking at my screen where your wing mirror is meant to be, where the little camera display is, I just couldn't see anything, and I just crashed into a little low wall. Luckily I wasn't going super speeds, I was literally crawling back, so it's just made a little bit of a dent in what would be the bumper of the fiberglass. I just heard this crunch, and I was like, oh my god. So I drove on anyway, and like, it was just a shock of it. It wasn't even that bad, but just like my legs were shaking, I was anxious, Buddy could sense it, he was getting restless on the seat next to me. And then, so we drove over, and we were trying to head to a place called the Chalet Tea Rooms, which was just maybe 5 or 6 miles away from the campsite, because I'd arranged to go there for 2 o'clock. I'd heard amazing things about it, the food being super dog friendly. And I got there, and it's in this tiny little village on the outskirts of Keswick, and I just couldn't get parked. I drove past it like 3 times, and like a mile either side, because I was more than happy to sort of park up and walk back. It was just heaving. So I had to give up on that idea, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully, you know, if I come back another time in just the car and we do like B&Bs in the local area, then I'll be able to get to it. But I was at this point, having had the little bump, I was just too stressed. So then we made our way to the campsite. It was easy enough to find, and it's a lovely campsite. A lot bigger than the one I was on last night, a lot busier, so tents and motorhomes and caravans, and it's what I would call, and this isn't meant to offend anyone, but more of like a busybody campsite, so the pictures are quite close together, and I kind of feel like as soon as I get here I want to put my blinds down because I don't want anyone being able to see in and see what I'm doing, and I don't really feel like I can sort of sit out without everyone being able to watch what I'm doing. It's just not really my kind of thing. I prefer to have the more remote places where you can just kind of chill out and be on your own. But so anyway, we got here and I had a bit of cheese on toast because I was hoping I was going to get lunch at that tea room, but we made some cheese on toast, and then Buddy and I decided to go on a little trek down into Keswick itself. So we asked at the reception here, and the lovely lady told us about more of an off beaten track way down to get to it rather than going back down on the road. And we had a lovely walk all the way down to Derwent Water, and then sort of back up through the town, and then joined the off-road track again and did about 7 kilometres. And it was such a nice walk. It was cooler than it had been yesterday, so Buddy was fine and he had a little swim in the lake. And then we got back up here and went to the little shop on site, which is fab. Got a couple of beers. I've sat and had my tea, and we're just chilling out now. Buddy's fast asleep. So lovely start to the day. Rubbish middle with the drive, although it has to be said, with the little country lanes and everything, the scenery was just amazing driving through the Lake District. You'd be going up and down, and obviously I'm concentrating a lot on the road, but every now and again you just get a break in the trees and the landscape, and you just see this gorgeous scene where there's like rolling hills and then a lake in the middle. And you know, when I was younger we went to Canada as a family, and some of the scenes here in the Lake District just reminded me of that. It was absolutely gorgeous, you know, from driving through the Rockies when we were younger. And it's such a stunning place. I would really recommend it to anyone, and it really has seemed so dog friendly from everything I've seen so far. One place, I think it's called the Lakeside Cafe down by Derwent Water, actually had one of those massive flags. I took a picture and put it on social media. All it said was dog friendly. That was the purpose of the flag. It was absolutely huge. So they are obviously big dog lovers down here. And one of the other lovely things that happened to me today was when we were doing our little walk down by the lake, I just stopped to let a family sort of pass. They had a big 11-month-old short-haired German pointer, gorgeous. I think it was called Fringle. And the family just started chatting to me because we were kind of walking the same way, and they were asking me what I was doing, and I told them about the app, and they just got it. They understood what the app was for. They were like, oh, so you can sort of find walks in your area when you're visiting places. I was like, yep, that's the idea. And they're like, oh, and you know, can people add comments to it so that it kind of keeps up to date, like TripAdvisor, and you know, if you can let them off lead or if there's livestock in the area at that local time. I was like, yep, that's exactly sort of the purpose of the app, that amongst other things. It's just so that people can add reviews and content all the time, and the community can engage with the app, and it's there as a free tool for people to use. And they just got it, and you know, they were excited, and they took one of my little social media cards, and they were like, oh, we're going to download it, we'll follow you straight away and get on the app. And it just kind of reminded me why I'm doing the trip, to meet people, to get out there, to spread the brand awareness and let people know about the app, because it is out there and it is free to use for dog owners. So you know, that's what I want. I want people to understand it, and I want them to engage with it and to get the benefit from it. So yeah, it was good. It was a nice little, not a pat on the back, but a reassurance and a reinforcement of why I'm doing this, especially after having had the little bump at lunchtime and feeling a bit down in the dumps. But I'm in good spirits tonight. I've had my couple of beers. Just catching up on an episode of Stranger Things, season 3. I'm a fan, and I can't get behind my boyfriend who is racing ahead in the series, and I can't have him spoiling what's going on. So Buddy and I are just going to chill out and watch a couple of episodes of that. And then tomorrow we're heading over to Durham Way, to a place called Paws, and I think a campsite's by Barnard Castle. So that should be good. Hopefully the drive will go a lot smoother than today's did. But yeah, feeling very good despite what happened, and bring on day 21. See you later.